Welcome back to Terpy, back with another weekly video for the channel. We're starting out this week's video in the grow tent room. We got some manicuring to do, or training, leaf stripping from the bottom half of the plants to open up the lower canopy for some air circulation. Also, we're doing some breeding in this room, so we don't need those lower bud sites to develop any currently past what they are. I think we're in week 2 of flower, so this is a good point to clean the plants up, do a leaf strip, lollipop the bottom portion of the plant, and then we can get our trellis netting in here to give them some extra support as we head into the middle stage of flower. So here's the dual 4x4s right next to each other. In here we got the peanut butter pie, and then over here we have the chopped cherry gas. Both of those plants in the white pots there are getting reversed. We have been spraying them with STS spray to reverse them from female plants to males, and then we'll have some pollen here in the next couple of weeks for our remaining 9 plants per tent. So you can see a couple of the plants are drooping back there. Those are currently around 12% moisture content in the growing medium. We can tell that because we have moisture content sensors hooked up to our pulse hub here. A very important piece of equipment to have in any grow space. Connect many different sensors on here. So if you want to get the pulse hub, Pulse One, or any other pulse products that they offer, you can use the discount code on their website for all the Pulse products. Use the discount code TERPYHIGHs on there. Be able to save yourself some money along with supporting the channel. We've got them all over our grow spaces and every single one of our grow rooms in many different areas. So here's a quick look at the plants in here. Since we do have 9 different strains plus the reversal plant, making it 10 different strains in these tents, it's very difficult to have them all the same height, having an even canopy. So what we're going to try and do in here today is really strip the plants that are the taller ones, the bottom half of the plants, and then these other ones we'll clean them up. Over here the plants are much bigger and taller. We do have a few plants in here that we don't have in the other grow rooms. So this tent, I'm pretty excited to see the results or the offspring from the seeds that we do collect from this space. Obviously the chopped cherry gas is very short compared to all the plants that we're reversing it to, so it'll be a nice thing to see the combination of the shorter bushier plant and the taller lanky plants over here. Again, very healthy, strong plants in here. Everything's green, nice, not much purpling going on. A few of them do have that, but we'll take care of that after the leaf stripping and then give these plants a good watering because they are quite dry right now, the taller ones. Over here on the 4x8, looking great. You can see all the taller ones over here and shorter ones on that side. Tent's really filled out now. We can see the differences on how fast some of them transition into flower, and then we have other ones that aren't showing any signs just yet. But good to see everything's green in here, no bugs. We do have some crispiness going on. This was a result of this building. We're still working on this last portion, but at least the plants are healthy and growing. I think there has to do something with the water source in here. Even though we're using an RO system, you would expect that to remove everything from the water, but I think there is still a slight little bit of whatever it is, maybe it's heavy metals getting through the RO system. So maybe we'll have to upgrade to add a couple more pre-filters before the RO system, maybe 2 or 3 different stages, which I do have here. I just need to get them installed so we can improve that situation. But we're doing everything we can with the time we have to really get this building fully 100%. I think we're 98% there, but again, just a little bit of crispiness during the vegetative stage in this specific room is happening. Downstairs in the 6 light room, we did work through that and there was no more issues down there. Let's get into working on the plants now. I'll set this table up in the center of the room so it's easy access to each of the grow tents. I'll throw you guys up on the time lapse here so you can see me work away in here and get this job done. Okay, so we just finished up cleaning up the plants, a little bit of defoliation or lollipopping across all grow tents. You can see there's a lot more air movement. We lowered the back clip fan to the bottom so we have air circulation under the canopy. We did that on all the grow tents. We just finished up watering, so there is still a little bit of water draining out the bottom of the trays, but overall super clean in here now. We're ready to put on a layer of trellis netting, which will go right at the CFM support poles. They are a little lanky, a little bit taller and stretchier than I would like, but again, we're not paying too much attention right now to these plants. We have a lot of other things going on, but we are still doing the duties that need to get done. So once the trellis netting is on here, it'll look a lot more even. And again, with so many different strains in here, it's difficult to keep everything the same size. So, or in the morning, since the lights turn off at 9 a.m., I'll get in here again, spray the reversal plants with STS one more time. I think one more time after that will be sufficient enough to reverse them to male or producing pollen, and then we'll be off to the races. I did end up taking one plant out of here. As you can see, there's only 8 plants in here in the black bags. That will be permanent marker that I took out of there. I really don't like that strain. It is a little bit too finicky for my wants as a breeding project and what I want to provide to people. So remove that single plant and open up the space for the other ones to grow a little bit bigger. So that's the update for today. I'll just get in here, mop the floor. I did sweep one time before the watering. Just do that before I close up the tents for the night. We're on the rooftop, obviously, on day 24 of flowers since we turned off the supplemental lighting up here. You can take a quick look. It's kind of hard just to show you guys on camera with the sunlight out right now, but here's rainbow fruits. The entire rooftop is rainbow fruits. We can see some discoloration going on down here. Today's task right now is to clean up the lower sections of the plant. We're going to cut off the bottom 2 or 3, probably the 2 bottom sets of nodes at the bottom. So any of these branches that are down here touching the pot or growing medium, we're going to clean that up so we have less chance of any bug problems, as we are seeing not only the discoloration. It's kind of hard to show obviously in the lighting, but over here you can see the spotting going on. Believe that's some thrips possibly, but either way we have 3,000 ladybugs to put out here tonight, so I want to clean up the lower sections of the plant first. We'll put 1,000 under this grow tent frame, 1,000 over there, and then all the way over there another 1,000. So hopefully that will clean up the space and then we're also going to do some top dressing of the Guy Green nutrients in here. We're going to do 70% Power Bloom and then 30% all-purpose nutrients. So this one needs a lot more water right now. As you can see, the plants are drooping down a little bit, dried out quite a bit. This area of the roof gets about 4 extra hours of sunlight compared to this side, just because of how the sun moves across the sky. So 3 or 4 hours extra over here, which dries them out quite a bit faster. As you can see, the deficiencies on the nutrients just not being enough compared to that side of the rooftop. So I'm gonna get in here with my scissor right here, trim out the bottom sections of these plants, and then I'll give you an update after, before we do a top dressing. And then later, once the sun goes down, we'll put some ladybugs out here. Okay, so it's the next day back here on the rooftop, about to do the top dressing with the Guy Green all-purpose and Power Bloom nutrients over there. We finished up yesterday by cleaning up the under canopy here, just so nothing's touching the top of the plants, to help with our top dressing, along with watering every time, as we don't want the branches touching the bottom. Yesterday I did release 3,000 ladybugs, 2,000 on this section of the roof and 1,000 over there. Come to see it this morning, and I don't see many ladybugs here at all. I almost said ladyboys, given it's Thailand. So anyways, so I did go in here and shake up the loose fill that comes in the ladybug package here, and a few of them, probably maybe 100 or 200, were still there,
and it seems like there are some ladybugs just laying on the top of the soil right now. Maybe it's too hot out here right now, and maybe they'll come back to life later on in the day or when the sun goes down, but we'll see how that does. I don't have high hopes, seeing that there's very little ladybugs up here right now. But what we're getting to today, we got the all-purpose here and then the power bloom. In the last video when I talked about applying this nutrients into the pots, I did misspeak when I was saying the amounts that we were doing. This is 192 tablespoons. It's written with teaspoons, but it should be tablespoons. 192 per container. We're gonna put 70% power bloom this time and 30% all-purpose. So we got the 1/8 cup measure here for the all-purpose. So we'll take 1 scoop of that. Heaping scoop, so we need just over 3 tablespoons of all-purpose to go in each of the pots. So we'll do a heaping scoop of this, which should get us there. And then we need 6 tablespoons of the power bloom here to get us to what we want, the 70-30 mix variety. We did 50-50 going into flower. So, and then at the beginning when we first transplanted, we did 70-30 all-purpose to power bloom. So this is the last application going into late flower. You can see with a better lighting today, the sun's not beating down as we're out here a little bit earlier. Got some frost production happening, some good bud development so far. So I'll get to doing this and then check back after, and then we'll do a heavy watering on all these plants as they do need a good amount of watering. Yesterday we did give these plants watering because they were dried out far too much and were drooping a little bit.
Okay, so we're in the VivoSun grow tent room. Currently on day 4 since flipping the light schedule to 12 hours on and 12 hours off. Currently looking at the 4x8 grow tent. We're using their 650 watt LED grow lights. We got 2 of those in there, controlled by the grow hub here. And then we also have the Pulse Pro, 1 in each grow tent in this space. We also have the Pulse hub connected to every single grow tent in here, which is controlling or keeping the data for our moisture content sensor there. We have one for every grow tent or every 4x4 space. So we have one right here, one here. So 2 of them on the 4x8 grow tent here. We'll go over the strains in here so you guys can see just how each of the strains develop and how fast they start to develop some buds now that we're on day 14 since flipping these plants into the flower mode. So here is Sub-Zero. You can see just the start of some buds developing there. Nice transition, super nice plant structure. This will be definitely one of the favorites in the entire group. The seeds that come from the cross from the Sub-Zero and the rainbow fruits here. Behind that we got Blackberry Oreo Big Stuff, about the same bud development as the Sub-Zero. Looking really good, a little bit taller plant compared to the Sub-Zero, and a little bit thinner leaves over here where we got much bigger ones on the Sub-Zero. Beside the Blackberry Oreo Big Stuff, we have Peanut Butter Pie, which is being crossed in another grow tent, which is the reversal for that grow tent project. So a little bit more bud development compared to the previous 2 that we showed. Beside that, we got Strawberry Banana Cream here. Much more bud development than the previous 3 that we looked at. Much taller plant, super strong genetics. I think this is my favorite overall in this grow tent. We'll definitely be looking forward to running this cross in the future. Then we have 1 Pink Runts here, just a single plant, so there won't be much seed collection off this plant. It'll be more of a personal project, and then we'll hunt those seeds in the future. On this side of the grow tent, we're still reversing the rainbow fruits here. Up front, we got the Tropicana Cherry Gas. Just starting to show some transition here. Nothing too crazy. Probably the slowest plant to transition in this grow space. Then behind that, we have Hawaiian Rain. We got 3 of those. Nice plant structure. It's really hard to tell the differences between all the plants. at this stage of growth, but it's good to show you guys just so you can see which ones you might be looking for that have a quick transition into the flower stage or bud development. And then we can compare that later on in flower and see which ones actually produce the biggest yields. So behind that we got white runts. Obviously that's a super strong strain, tall, great plant structure, and definitely a big yield because we just saw that harvest downstairs, which is currently drying. We did 3 lights of the white runt, so it'll be interesting to see what the harvest was inside that grow room. Great bud development. I would say this is actually a little bit farther along than the strawberry banana cream. So those two, super fast transition, great healthy plants in here. We really got to get in here and do the trellis netting in here, as some of the taller plants might have some issues later on in flower standing up straight. So I'll get in here in the next day or two and get that accomplished. Let's move over to the other side of the room. We got the dual 4x4s here. Same grow lights we're using, the 4x8. Everything's pretty much exactly the same. A few people were asking about these trays. They are just on some PVC conduit. It stands up under there, holding it about 12 to 13 inches off the ground. This grow tent, we have the peanut butter pie getting reversed into 9 other strains in here. We'll go over each one so you can see. Banana hammock here. This is a super frosty strain. Obviously we're not seeing any of the trichome development right now, but later in flower you guys will be surprised if you've never seen banana hammock. This one was super frosty when I grew it at another location which wasn't shown on the channel, so that will be exciting to see. We got rainbow cakes here that I'm going to kill off actually right now. Something's attacking it. I'm not too sure why that single plant is growing the way it is, so we're just going to remove that out of the grow tent completely. We got strawberry banana cream, super healthy, just like the other grow tent. I'm not going to show you that one because you've already seen it. Tropicana cherry gas right here, showed you that one. Behind that we got purple pineapple. Very slow transition, probably similar to the Tropicana cherry gas here, but still very nice plant. Just on the smaller side for this clone. So we'll see in the other grow tent if that strain any bigger for the clone that we have, or is it strain dependent that this strain is just a smaller plant. Behind that we got pink runts, so a bit bigger plant than the single one that we have in the 4x8. We got white runts beside that. Right here we got Granny Mac. Probably the slowest transition. Not you can't even see any white hairs or small bud development yet. That will be more of a sativa strain if you're looking for sativas. Then we got another Hawaiian rain here, super strong, nice healthy plant, just like the other grow tent. Nothing too different in this grow tent, but when we go over here we have a few plants that are only in this project here. So we got a small plant that's getting reversed, that's a Trop cherry gas. Beside that we got permanent marker, or single plant here, super healthy, nice big healthy big leaves, good one to see. We got white runts behind that, obviously great. Behind that is Frozen Joker. It's kind of hard to get back there, but I'll give it a go. That's the transition so far. Beside that we have the rainbow cakes, healthy version of the one that we're gonna kill off in this grow tent over here. So definitely much healthier plant. Genetics are good. I'm just not too sure. Maybe that other one got the roots damaged when transplanting it, or switching it from the grow tent onto the floor or something. I'm not too sure. But in front of that we got blackberry Oreo big stuff, purple pineapple, same exact size as the other grow tent. So it's just the genetics. Short plant apparently, still healthy, nice plant structure overall. Then we'll just see how the buds development as we go later into flower. Up here we have Sub-Zero, very nice, just like the 4x8. Behind that one, it's kind of getting overgrown. We got Granny Mac right there in the center position. From the Sub-Zero and the strawberry banana cream behind it, it's just getting squeezed out apparently. Might not get too much bigger, but we'll see how that grow tent goes. Obviously, I've said this a few times, this is my favorite project in the room. We'll see how those come out, but thought I'd give you guys a quick update on this grow space. as I need to get in here and do some hand watering. Still need to finalize the water pump here so we can have automated irrigation, but that will come pretty soon. We're just drying out the 6 light room downstairs, get that done and trimmed, and then I'll move on to some build projects to finish up all the different spaces in here. Okay, so here we are in flower room 2, 64 lights on this half of the room. On the left side, we got all super booth. Then we got 3 tables of slurricane here, and then the last table on the right hand side is Alien OG. This is harvest day, so we've changed the settings for the room's environment down to 65 degrees Fahrenheit and 58 or 57% relative humidity. We'll leave it like that for about 3 to 4 days, and then we'll raise the humidity setting up to 60% and lower the temperature by a couple degrees, maybe to 62 or 63 degrees Fahrenheit. But let me shut off the lights so you guys can get a closer look at the nighttime shots of all the different strains and different bud sites, because I know a lot of you like to see night shots. I don't know if it's going to focus zoomed in, but let me shut off the light so you guys can get a better look at the nighttime bud shots. There you go. So here is Super Booth, just an outside bud, kind of right at the end of the table. We'll go for a lower one that's not receiving very much light, obviously, just because it's lower and on the outside. Then we'll do a bottom, nice size structure, still pretty solid. We're going to do probably anything from this trellis netting above we'll keep as tops. Anywhere between this trellis netting and this one will be mid-grade, and then the bottom will be popcorn used for extraction or whatnot. But super happy with this round of plants in here. No real hiccups. One thing we will have to upgrade later on if we continue to grow this large of a plant in here and such a full canopy is adding a little bit more dehumidification, as we are in the last week when we're lowering the temperatures. The humidity just can't keep up and lower the humidity also. So we were only able to lower the temperatures down to about 75 degrees Fahrenheit before our humidity was not able to keep up, and we were only able to get it down to 58%, sometimes 56 on the outside edges, but in the dead center it wasn't able to go any lower than 58 right inside the canopy. So that's one upgrade we'll have to do later on, but still successful run. Here's the Alien OG, just an outside bud for you guys to take a look at. Nice colas all the way up. Super happy with all 3 of the strains, really. I was questioning the slurricane earlier in the grow, but super high quality, just smaller buds, but finished nicely. We're gonna do the next run in this room all Super Booth, and then we'll also do a little trial on the 3 different toppings. So no topping will be 2 or 3 tables. Then we'll do the same type of topping that we did on this run, which is removing the top fan leaves, allowing lower branches to catch up to the top. And then we'll do the traditional topping on 2 tables also. So that'll give us a nice selection to see the differences on the yield and quality come harvest time on our next run. And then we'll be able to know how to run this strain on the next one for the entire room. So that's what we're gonna plan right now, is to keep running Super Booth for the next 2 or 3 just to get some money flowing in our facility. So what we're gonna do now, since this is harvest day, let me turn on the light again. We're gonna get in here and cut all the branch or all the stems right here, and then we'll remove the cocoa bags out of the room to get a lot of the moisture out of the room, or the humidity load. And we're gonna just dry the plants as is, like you've seen me in my 6 light room, just hanging straight
not hanging, standing straight up in the trellis netting. Since they are well supported in the trellis netting, we can continue keeping them right there with our room environment to the dry settings with no cocoa bags underneath. We've got great airflow from all the ventilation and fans, so there is no issues with drying like this. The 6 light room did a great job, easy to trim since the leaves do stay standing straight out. Super fast trimming, saves manpower when we go to hand trim all of this, since we do not have a machine trimmer yet for this location, which ideally in the future we will have a Twister T4 or T2 in the future to do the majority of the trimming, which does come in handy. We just don't have that currently on deck. Really missing that since I do have one of those back in Canada. So let me get in here and remove the cocoa bags, and then I'll give you guys an update after that. Okay, so we're done clearing out all the cocoa, so everything has been chopped. Just is still hanging from the trellis netting. You can see that it has lowered the canopy about 8 to 10 inches. So we got great airflow above the canopy for the drying process. You can see the fans are above all the tops of the plants. Really happy on the quality of these plants so far. You see how they look after the drying process has been completed. You can see just how much more airflow there is now. Everything's looking really good. The Alien OG could have gone probably a day or two more, maybe 3 more days, but considering how much of the room is already completed with the Super Boof and the Slurricane, we weren't wanting to take the room any farther just because of this one table. We're gonna sacrifice a couple days on these ones for the greater good of the rest of the room, but everything's looking good. Let me zoom in here, see if you guys can see some of these colas. Not the greatest lighting in here with the auxiliary lighting on the top, but we'll give you some better shots once everything's dried and trimmed, and then we'll go over the final weights of everything. From one building to the next, now we're over here in the grow tent room, which is above the cafe, where we got our breeding projects going on. We got peanut butter pie here that's reversed, crossing it to 9 different strains. The best one in here I think is going to be the banana hammock. So peanut butter pie by Banana Hammock, super epic. Got another one over here, Trop Cherry Gas by 9 strains, and then over here we got Rainbow Fruits by a bunch of different strains. Okay guys, so I kind of jumped over the entire harvesting process and the drying phase. So we dried the plants for 16 or 17 days at 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was around 58% relative humidity on the average side for 16 days. And then we just knocked it out, me, my girlfriend, and one of the staff members from the cafe. So the three of us, both of their first times doing this. So it was good help training them and letting them know how everything went and the process. But as you can see, it's quite the mess in here. So today I'm gonna get in here and clean everything up as we have clones arriving later in the afternoon. So it's gonna be a quick turnaround after we finished harvesting here. We got everything bucked off of the branches. As you can see, there's no buds left in here, just the stems. And then the remaining hand trimming is getting done by somebody else at another location. Should be done in a couple days. And then I'll be able to show you guys the final results of all the different strains. Like we had the white runts here and then 5 other strains on that side. So let me set up the time lapse and then we'll get in here, clean everything out, and then we'll try and do a better process of recording all the different steps now that we know this building is successful and we can grow in here without any issues, hopefully going forward. So I know I have lacked on the video updates of actually doing the work. We're just kind of updating you along the process of what I have done. So going forward again on the channel, we'll go back to how we started the channel, showing all the processes from getting to end so you guys can see exactly what's going on. So we'll get rid of this trellis netting, clean up the tables and then the floors, and then we'll get to disinfecting the entire room. It's quite the mess in here right now. You can see all the gloves down there that we had to use. We'll also finalize mounting the CO2 controllers and stuff like that, so we don't have anything on this table. We can get this place finalized in here, looking a lot better. So
I have the time lapse up there. Actually, I'll make a video maybe next week after I edit. I have a full time lapse of this entire grow from that position. So we'll see how that video turned out and get that posted for you guys shortly. Okay, so I think the last clip was the time lapse of vacuuming up the place. You can see the table is free of all dry debris. We just need to get in here and scrub the tables. Now that the majority of the plant material and dirtiness is gone, we just need to get in here with some scrub brush and wetness, some cleaner, to really make these look brand new again. So that will be the next step for tomorrow. But right now, I already did this side, but you can see we have the far red bars here from FlexStar. Each bar is 9 watts, I believe. So 18 watts for 2 bars over here. Fairly simple to install. I did that half off of camera. We'll set up the time lapse and we'll complete this side, and then I'll give you guys a look at what these lights look like with the lights off. We will be running them for, I think, 10 to 15 minutes before the lights go on and 10 or 15 minutes after the lights go off. This helps with initiating the plants waking up and getting ready for the day, and also going to sleep at the end of the day, which helps with reducing your flowering time or increasing yield as it speeds the plant up from either waking up or slowing or going to sleep. These will be a great benefit for the room. Ideally, I would like to run the under canopy lighting with these, but again, we're out of power for this room, so we're going to be adding these and not running the under canopy lights. See how these ones do in the future. Maybe I'll be able to run an entire room with the under canopy lights, the far red bars, and the FlexStar lights above. But for right now, this is what we got to work with. So let me throw you on the time lapse and get this side installed. Okay, so we're in the grow tent room, obviously. VivoSun grow tent setups, 650 watt LED grow lights, 4x4s here, and then we got a 4x8 over here. Unfortunately, got some bad news in here. This is the breeding project. We got rainbow fruits here that has been reversed, but unfortunately it's not dropping any pollen. We have 2 plants, one there, one here. Again, no pollen is being dropped. We can tell that by the white hairs on the plants or the bud sites that are literally directly under the plant. We see nothing going on. Trop cherry gas right here, looking all right. Overall, all the plants are doing really good in here. We do have to get in here and do a leaf stripping, which I will be doing in the next video. But overall, this tent over here is doing actually phenomenal. Unfortunately, I didn't get in here and put some trellis netting on here. So when I do the deleafing of all these plants, I will put one layer of trellis netting on. It will be a little bit of work to get it low enough to support the plants, but that's just what we're gonna have to do at this point. We do have our clones up here for the 6th light room. going on downstairs. We'll get those transplanted tomorrow, which will be in the next video, but thought I would give you guys a quick update on everything that's going on in here. Plant's looking good overall. We got really good bud structure and trichome development. Sizing is good, not too tall. Lots of space in there for some good air circulation both above the canopy and below the canopy. We are still doing hand watering right here. We haven't hooked up the automatic irrigation yet, but we will get to that I think after this run. Then I'll set up everything. I've found by starting the plants a little bit too early, my plate gets a little bit too full taking care of all the different grow spaces, which leads me to not finishing the building process of each of the spaces. So after this run, we will complete the build process in this grow room, and you have seen me finishing the build process in the 6 light room downstairs, which will be completed within a few days of these clones that are in this room getting transplanted into there. Okay, so I know it's been a couple weeks since the last video, so I hope you enjoyed this one. We will be getting back onto the regular video updates, just being really busy over here, and have had to switch out a few employees at the shop, along with not having regular help making these videos in my grow spaces anyways. So until next time, happy growing everyone, and remember to get out there and make it happen.